Focus. In a dramatic turn in Kerala's hijab controversy, the state government has directed a Christian-run school in Kochi called St. Rita's School to allow an 8th grade Muslim student to wear her religious headscarf or hijab. This comes just after the student's father agreed to the school's uniform policy, with even the Congress claiming that the issue had been peacefully resolved. However, based on the complaint filed by the student's father, the Ernakulam Deputy Director of Education conducted an investigation and found that there had been serious lapses on the part of the school authorities. The principal refuted the claims, first that the child was expelled, which they say is not true. Kerala government report also says the school violated right to education, but school insists that all other Muslim students, nearly 110 of them, follow their policies, adding that all kids are the same in a secular country. St. Rita's School has refused to comply. The PTA president has told News18 that they won't be forced to follow government orders when the CBSE and the court norms are very clear. The matter is in court. They said let the courts also decide. The BJP meanwhile slamming the Pinarayi Vijayan government's directive, citing Supreme Court and High Court rulings that uphold institutional dress codes. The Kerala High Court granted the police protection to the school after protests erupted in the matter. The High Court supported maintaining order and institutional autonomy, but encouraged dialogue between parents and management. The matter is set to be heard again on November 11th, but the government intervened even before the court could decide. Why is the question? Meanwhile, the SDPI has demanded broader guidelines for all educational institutions, both aided and unaided. This also comes weeks after the June 25 clash at the Kerala University, where tensions erupted when SFI activists tried to block an event and remove a Bharat Mata portrait. Despite the registrar's revocation of permission, the governor proceeded with the program, which the state government later termed a gross violation of university regulations. Now the question remains, in the garb of religious freedom, is selective secularism on display in Kerala by the LDF government? Sriraj Nair, leader of the VHP, Royden Roach, political analyst with us. My namaste and Jai Hind. Thank you for your time. How would you look at this, Royden Roach, on the way the Kerala government is currently functioning? Was their diktat, was their order necessary, especially when the state's education minister said that the schools have their rules and those rules have to be followed? That's why it's called a uniform code.
Well, good evening to viewers. See, the first thing is the Kerala government, I don't really think why it was written and they got involved into this issue. When it was sub judice already in the court and you have a court order coming up, why is it the government got involved? If the government wanted to get involved, they should have done it before. And one more thing very clearly, see, the reason is the people should understand that you have a uniform code, it is much more beneficial for the child. Because see what happens when the child starts to wear on a uniform and go in some place and start, sitting in the school, there's always a discrimination happening between the friends. Okay, there's a lot of ill feelings happening. They come from a different community, this comes from a different community. But when you have a single uniform, you know the children are together. They don't see who's sitting next to them or from which community he comes. So there's a lot of peace and harmony and more understanding for the children. That's a more way to bring up the child in a country like ours. And especially this only starts with hate, always because of hate. And when we look at the school, see, even if I have my child admitted in school, the first thing is I abide by the norms and forms.
Yeah.
There's always an instruction being given to you in the advance that this is the rules of the school, and you have to follow it. If you don't want to follow it, don't admit your child in the school. You admit the child in the school where you think you are comfortable with. But when it comes to issues with uniform, I think you have to maintain the dress code of the school. And it's a uniform, and that is even discipline of the child. Now, by parents getting involved and intervening in these issues, the discipline of the child is going to go to a different angle. So you have to.
You make a fair point, Royden Roach. The other thing is that the Christian community has been, unfairly dealt with under the left government is another question that stands up, because the Kerala Christian Forum has multiple times raised the issue of girls being targeted by Islamist radicals. Nothing much done there. Drugs being peddled among the youth. Nothing done there. There are schools and institutions, educational institutions being brought under pressure by these radical elements who seem to get a free run. But Sriraj Nair, is it because Marxism is dead in Kerala and it's being now replaced by Islamic Bolshevism? Is this a political compulsion, a vote bank compulsion? What's happening there?
See, Anand, you said it right. Party, if you see the complete cadre of CPIM, it is mostly the Muslim community. And moreover, these people are playing with the lives and career of the students. Now, what does uniform means? Uniform means uniform for everybody. And why they want to push their radical ideas in schools and educational institutions? Now in Bihar there are elections. Mr. Owaisi will be roaming around in Bihar and will be saying that in Muslim community there are the maximum number of school dropouts. They face the maximum number of school dropouts, and that is a record. And these are the people, these radical elements are responsible for the Muslim community to have the maximum number of school dropouts because of their radical ideas. And moreover, Kerala Communist government under Mr. Pinarayi Vijayan is known for appeasement politics. They are only into appeasement politics.
But
they have been ridiculing, mocking Hindu Dharma, and at the same time, they have been always treating Muslims as their jamais. It is only appeasement politics. They should never interfere in the educational arena. Why are they poking their nose? And when there is a uniform for all the students, it should be abided.
Correct, and clearly this kid has been studying there for a while. And interestingly, Royden Roach, if you see, the whole sequence is orchestrated. There is some YouTuber who's filming this.
Exactly. All of a sudden, the girl feels she wants to wear hijab. She was wearing the uniform for all this while. All of a sudden, she wants to wear a hijab, and there are people who want to support. So this is all with some kind of vested interest and ideas.
No, but who are these people who are putting these kind of pressures and also on CBSE run schools, Royden Roach? Who are these people?
See, you have. I don't really
Kerala.
Shrijit, please, I'm asking Royden Roach, please wait. Yeah.
See, I only don't blame the issue with in Kerala itself, under Mr. Pinarayi Vijayan's government also. You look at even the BJP run state, we always have the Christian minority schools being targeted. And these are the institutions are the ones who give the best of education. And that too with a very, very, affordable fees. You know, the fees is very affordable. If you look at it. So every child can study. But when you look at the BJP doesn't want even children to study. In the north, if you look at it, they are trying to stop education. And that's the reason why the Christian institutions are targeted. The minority institutions are targeted because they do not want children to get educated. So that they can pay the
No, but where are you saying that the BJP is stopping education? BJP has not stopped education anywhere. Which are the cases where minority institutions or Christian institutions, schools are being targeted? Which list?
Delhi. No, including Delhi also, we had this issue.
What is the issue?
Yeah, we had the school being targeted by the Bajrang Dal.
For what? For what?
For same thing, for same issue, uniform code is one side, and one more thing, the system that they are running the schools in, you can't get involved in the operation of the system. Your assembly, the way the assembly is to be run, and what has to be sung in the assembly, you can't say that. You can't do that. Okay, all these issues are happening, and especially we are observing this. These people want children to be uneducated so they can play the vote bank politics. Okay, and the day the people start getting, so what do you think Manipur is issue? What do you think the Northeast is happening? Because the missionary schools are educating people.
Now we are getting into a different realm altogether. There is again one more. Royden Roach, we are digressing from the topic, so we'll park it for another day. You're supposed to be educating and you're not supposed to be revisionist in your attitude. Why is it that from the advent of Christian missionaries onwards, the history of Mizoram has been wiped out? Why is it that there has been a total demographic transition if the intent was only education and not and there was no attempt at conversion? You are allowed to propagate but not convert and use inducement. So that's a different realm altogether, and that is not allowed. So we'll park that out for another day. But if a school's what I am trying to tell you, what I am trying to put out here is, if the rule of a school is that there will be no other headdress other than the uniform, then that applies to everybody except for the Sikh community, because that's part of their religious practice. This is not an addition. Hijab or wearing a head cover is not an mandatory aspect of the Islamic religion, and that is the reason why it cannot be imposed and it should not be deemed mandatory in schools. So that's the basic compromise. I thank you both. We'll take this conversation forward. I am compelled to take a break. We are 7:31 already. Thank you very, very much. Thank you.